Congratulations on the documentary. A documentary, as you know, is like writing a book, is like going back and reading your journal. You're learning things about yourself. Maybe you've forgotten because you can't remember everything. What was the experience personally like for you?
It's because it was all done in sections over long periods of time. Kind of like, I go, oh, Mike, are you available on Tuesday for a couple hours? Where can we hook up and set up a camera kind of thing? So watching the bits and pieces as they went by was pretty interesting, because it went through, I guess, maybe 4 or 5 different cuts before it actually got to where it was close. And okay, we're not changing anything except the photo or something, but there's a locked in timeline. So it's like interesting stuff. I mean, they dug up some interesting, they are great filmmakers, right? So they dug up some very, very interesting things, but I had forgotten about. I'm sure Gil and Rick had forgotten about too. So it was neat, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the final cut because I haven't really seen it. I kind of saw it because Bagger asked me to come to the audio when they were laying the audio in. They asked me to come down and just approve it and for suggestions or whatever. But that's kind of watching the film, listening to the audio, being very picky about the sound rather than the picture. So I missed a lot of stuff on the picture. So I'm looking forward to sitting back and watching.
And that's like tomorrow night, right? The Toronto International Film Festival?
Yeah, which is great, man. I mean, to have the film in TIFF is amazing. It's like one of the hardest things to do, unless you're a Hollywood studio, of course, and spend millions of dollars. But for us, to get a special event designation from them is like next to impossible. So they really like the film, and that's like mind-boggling to me. It's like I grew up when TIFF started. I knew the guys that started it. My wife ran the guest office for years there, and so I go back to when TIFF actually started. Now I have a movie in TIFF, and it's like mind-boggling to me.
Well, so has it been planned, Mike, yet for when? How can people see it? I mean, obviously it's premiering tomorrow night, but everyone's been asking me because I said, hey, I'm talking to Mike Levine. The questions and the major question outside the music questions were, where can I see this movie?
Right. Well, it's like a lot of things that that happen around movie festivals, like TIFF and Cannes and Sundance and all that. The opportunity to get it into those incredible venues, when you're not ready to actually release the movie, becomes an interesting dichotomy because we don't know when it's going to air, right? We don't know.
Yeah.
There might be 2 or 3 more festivals they're going to put it in. We don't know that either. But
someone had said it's going to go on Crave. Is that true? Have you heard anything?
It will go on Crave. Bell has the Canadian rights, but probably not for months even. It's not going to happen quickly. I don't think, unless Bell decides all of a sudden go, oh, wow, we got an opening this fall, because they want to do a network broadcast first, right, on CTV.
Yes, of course.
So that requires a good window of opportunity, promotion time. Actually, they haven't even talked to us about when.
Okay.
They're interested in having it out.
I thought you'd say that.
There may be something we might do with Cineplex that might be interesting. We haven't really worked on it yet, but that could come up sooner than it actually being on TV.
That'd be great. By the way, I talked to a lot of musicians about the little old me syndrome, which a lot of the times, and well, musicians will say, "Oh, my kids, they don't get what I've done," and stuff like that. But when you're watching yourself, I mean, you're looking at a much younger man. It has obviously a little more naive, but creatively, you're right in the swing of things. You were like the producer of the band, as far as the how you were wired, how you got that done. What were your impressions of even looking at yourself up there?
I never liked looking at myself. So one of those things that it's kind of like, for me anyway, if I do an interview, I will never listen to it, or I'll never read it if it's in the newspaper or online. Same thing with TV. I don't look at it. 5 minutes, not interested. It's just, it's done, it's over. I don't want to criticize myself, and I hate the way I look. I can't.
You look like such a rock star. I was saying this to you last time about Rick. I forgot to mention that I meant you too. I'd look up at you guys when I remember I was asking you guys for quotes from Miramichi, but it's too long ago, and you played all those stadiums. And I'd look up at you guys and I'd go, here's a band that sounds like a rock band and looks like a rock band. You look like a rock star, my friend. Take it or leave it.
There you go.